Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. Reviews today from found out about her 47K escape account, and it backfired. Please exit them below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
Am I the asshole for not giving my husband my escape money when I saw that we are financially,
yes,
we were financially struggling? I'm a
100%.
34-year-old female, have recently ran into a situation with my husband, who's a 37-year-old male, and I'm curious about if I am the asshole here or not. So me and my husband have been together for 8 years, married for 7. When I got married, my mother came to me privately and talked about setting aside money as a rainy day escape fund if worse came to worse. My husband has never
See, the thing is with these rainy day escape funds, when worse comes to worse, to them, the worst is when the husband doesn't make money and they're financially strapped. So that becomes the worst. So it's easy for them to just leave after that. It's a stupid method.
Showed any signs of being dangerous and rarely even gets upset. But the way my mother talked about it, it seemed like a no-brainer to have.
Why would you feel the need to create this type of account if your husband didn't give you a reason to doubt him when it comes to the stability of your relationship?
When me and my husband,
Sisterhood, your own mother.
Really don't like that. When my husband and I got together, we agreed I would be a stay-at-home wife. We are both child-free, so that was never a concern. My husband made a comfortable mid-six-figure salary.
So you're just a stay-at-home wife that doesn't even have any kids, and you're still saving money, and you're taking money out of... Wow.
All was good until about 2 years ago. He was injured at work in a near-fatal accident. Between hospital bills and a lawsuit that we lost that ate up nearly all of our savings, I took a part-time job while my husband was recovering. But when he fully recovered, we transitioned back into me being unemployed, as my husband insisted that it was his role to provide. He currently is working 2 full-time jobs and Ubers on his off days to keep us afloat. Here is where...
How big is your guys' lifestyle? Holy cow, it's only 2 of you. The man has to work 3 jobs plus Uber? Or 2 jobs plus Uber?
I might be the asshole. I do all of the expense management and have continued to put money into my escape account, although I...
Wow, throughout the 2 years of him struggling to work those 3 jobs, to do those things, you're still siphoning money from him.
Significantly decreased from $750 a month to just $200 a month.
So he was working...
You took $750 a month?
Working 2 full-time jobs and doing Uber on his days off, but she was still taking $200 per month?
Wow.
My husband came home exhausted one night and asked about downsizing because the stress of work was going to kill him. I told him downsizing would not be an option, as I had spent many years making our house a home, and offered to go back to work.
Wow.
He tried to be nice, but basically told me that me going back to work wouldn't make enough. After an argument, my husband went through our finances to see where we could cut back. He was confused when he saw that I had regular recurring withdrawals leading back years and asked me about it. I broke down and revealed my money to him.
My money.
Which now sits at about $47,000. After I told him all this, he just broke down sobbing.
We are not surprised by his reaction. All this time he thought the family didn't have money, only to find his wife with $47,000 when they were struggling financially. I know most people would have the same feelings.
His point of view is that I treated him like a predator and hid money from him for years, even when he was at his lowest. I told him that the money was a precaution I would have taken with any partner and not specific to him. He left the house to stay with his brother and said, I heard him on every possible level.
At this point, it's no longer about the money.
See how she's like said that it hurt him on every he conveyed to you how devastated he is, and you still don't think you're the asshole because you have to go on the internet and ask still. Some self-awareness, please.
He broke down because he didn't know he was on this by himself. He probably thought they were a team, but her actions proved otherwise.
But my mom says this is exactly what the money is for.
Wow.
And should bail now.
She got into the relationship with the wrong mindset, and that's why they got to this stage.
And that's the problem.
Why does she need an escape fund? What is she escaping from?
Right?
If one starts a marriage and planning for a divorce, they are increasing their chances to end up in a divorce. If you have concerns and think you need an escape fund, don't get married. Pretty good. Glad you...
Yeah, there's a big difference between an escape fund that you're siphoning money out, and then there is a prenup. Prenup, at least it's money that nobody's, like, it's not allocated money that people can touch right away. It's just allocated when things end, or if they end. This, you're literally siphoning money constantly throughout the 7 years that you were, 7 to 8 years you were with this gentleman. And even when this gentleman was struggling, working 2 jobs, Uber, you still took money out. And this man just thought you guys were like the fucking Beyonce and Jay-Z. He didn't realize he was just fucking Tyrese Gibson.
Enjoying retirement. While I agree that you should always have savings just in case you break up, but not telling him is weird. If anything, she should have saved it as a rainy day fund for their household.
Correct.
And if she felt that way, she should have never agreed not to work, or still had some type of side hustle, or save her own rainy day fund. And don't lie about it. Just go to school and have something to fall back on for yourself.
Agreed.
There are too many layers to this. First, she decided to create an escape account behind his back, and then she didn't use it to support the family when they needed it. She saw him doing all those extra hours to support their household, while the money that could have been used was always sitting in her account.
Am I the asshole for not giving my husband my escape money when I saw that we were financially struggling?
That was a good question, and she probably knows the answer.
Yep.
But how can you keep money from your husband when you guys are struggling? He was working tirelessly, and
Because she doesn't give a fuck if he's struggling. As long as she's not struggling. As soon as she gets to the point where she has to struggle with him, that's when she uses that money to leave. That's exactly what the fucking money's for.
got to the point where he couldn't continue as it was too much. But still, she decided to keep the money for herself.
I broke down and revealed my money to him.
My money.
Which now sits at about $47,000. After I told him all this, he just broke down sobbing.
Forget about the money. It's no longer important at this point.
Nope.
The main issue is the fact that she was able to watch him going through a hard time, working multiple full-time jobs plus Uber driver to make more.
Well, remember, the man almost died in a almost fatal fucking work accident. She still didn't give a fuck.
Or as the family needed it, only to realize that she could have helped but decided not to. He was bothered due to the mindset behind it. If she was able to keep that money even when they were struggling, it sends a message that he was alone. There was no partnership, and this was probably the harder part about it.
But my mom says this is exactly what the money is for.
Hiding the money was the reason for this problem, not the solution. They wouldn't have an issue if she didn't have this brilliant idea of following that advice, and
Right.
now she was convinced that this money will help, not...
See, that's the thing, that women get convinced of these things, and then when things happen, they have to justify. This is why they run around in circles everywhere, fucking trying to explain shit, because they're trying to justify their shitty behavior.
realizing it was the source of the problem.
Do you aspire to be a stay-at-home mom?
If it comes with an allowance, yeah.
An allowance.
Yeah, like if he gives
Makes
me money
sense.
weekly, yeah.
Obviously, the man is working out there getting the bread, so life is good for you.
Yeah.
But
it
you
has
saying
to
you
be.
want
That's
even an
part of
extra
it.
incentive? Like, give me a little bit of extra.
Of course.
Yeah.
I also want to have my own
Yeah.
thing too.
There
Like
you
I want to
go.
have my
Yes,
own
own
credit, my own
business.
cards. I want to have my own thing where
Why do
Do you not have that shit now, you fucking whores? You have this shit now. Do you think when you get married, all of it just disappears or something?
You want your own.
I'm gonna tell you why I want my own. Because nothing is forever.
So
What's the point of getting into a relationship or marriage if you are already planning your exit? It doesn't make any sense.
you think that it's okay
I
for
need
a
to take
woman
notes.
to be a stay-at-home mom as long as she could plot her exit?
It's not plotting your exit.
There's no intention in his mind to make a backup plan in case you don't do what you want to do and you decide to just bounce.
Okay.
So what happens is when we get to this conversation is like, why do men not want to be married? This is the example, because if I go and I bust my behind and I provide and protect and I do everything for my wife, not my girlfriend, my wife, she's still thinking in the back of her head that this is a possibility, this is not going to work, and she wants to be okay when it doesn't. The ideology that you have in the mindset is called catastrophizing. A lot of women do it, and basically what that is when a woman is preparing for the tragedy rather than focusing on what is currently happening in their relationship.
The allowance is you being able to stay at home.
Yeah, right?
Allowing a woman to financially set herself up to bounce on me using my hard-earned money is crazy.
It is.
That's what my ex was doing. 5 months separated after nearly 14 years.
Ouch.
I was told by a male professor that an organized man is a prepared man. It does not hurt for a wife to make sure that money is being stowed away in the event the family may need it when something happens to her husband. That's good planning. Why is it viewed as a selfish desire instead of something great for the family?
Because you don't need to hide it. And if you are a stay-at-home mother, that means he's earning all the money. So you are siphoning money from this man, from your husband, the father of your children, I would assume, and taking it without him knowing. If it was in a savings account that said, boom, family savings that you take out, and he knows this, there's a different story. It is literally a different story. If you actually use that money for the family, I don't think most men are going to fault you for it. They really aren't.
This is a privileged position, and I know a lot of women would be happy to have this opportunity, but here she is claiming that she needs to be paid for it. So she wants to get an allowance for something that other people would gladly take? Why would he do such thing? As a family, we both bring something to the relationship to make it work, and if you have a man who will give you that choice, you should be grateful because many women are looking for that spot. They wouldn't require a payment.
I want to have my own thing where
Why do you want your own?
I'm going to tell you why I want my own. Because nothing is forever.
So
This mindset doesn't help when it comes to the longevity of a relationship. She wants to get married, but already thinking about her exit, and then she going to be the first to complain that for some reason her relationships are not lasting.
Right?
Those who have this mindset are the first to quit when things get hard. They don't see the need to work things out as their exit plan is already in place. So what's the point?
This seems like common sense, but I'm going to say it anyways. I'm not lucky that I have a good husband. I have a good husband because I married a good man.
Yeah.
People keep commenting on my TikTok that I'm lucky I have such a good husband. I'm lucky that he puts up with this, blah, blah, blah. Luck didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, he was a good man when we were dating, so I married him. Good men turn into good husbands.
She better say it louder for those in the back, because I don't think they got her message.
Bad boyfriends don't make good husbands. I knew when I was dating Caden that he would be a great husband and a great father. So I chose to marry him and then bear his children. It wasn't luck. It wasn't like a coin flip. I knew
That's how this women think it is, though.
who he was, and I knew I wanted to build a life with him. Somebody commented that her partner would strangle her if she acted like I did, and it was like, you should get a new partner.
I know we are lucky to have found good men, but there are indeed good men still, and people just don't choose them because they think they are boring. You're lucky to have found a good man. Yep, all of this. It wasn't luck, I picked well. For me, the luck was growing up with adults modeling healthy relationships
That
and
is
a father who
luck.
showed me how to
I agree.
recognize a good man who would be a good partner. I am glad that she acknowledges that he is a good partner and it's working for them. It shows that when other women complain that they can't find a good man, it doesn't mean that there is a scarcity of those guys, as they are everywhere. But in most cases, they became invisible due to their unrealistic expectations. Others are struggling to find them because they are not realistic with themselves. They want to transform Chad into a good man, but this is not how it works, so they keep facing challenges. I bet she wasn't looking.
I know a few Chads, and I'm talking about fucking true Chads, 6'2", fucking blonde hair, blue eyes. The man looks like fucking Adonis, man. Like, they are fucking gorgeous men. They run through women like fucking nothing. I'll go to dinner with them, and I am not a Chad. I don't get women coming up to me and fucking flirting with me and whatever. These motherfuckers do. We'll go out together, and there's just droves of women hitting on them. That's how fucking much Chads have in the dating market. They just literally are just there. We were eating at a normal restaurant. Almost every single girl was staring at him. Fucking 3 girls came up to him. I mean, just looking at it, I was just like, fuck. Like, the powers that Chads have to run through women is almost beyond comprehension sometimes.
Looking for a relationship full of drama that only Chad can provide, and that's why she landed a good guy. It's just a matter of decision.
So this is my first video, and I don't normally do stuff like this, but I'm thinking out loud, so I kind of just wanted to share my thoughts with people and get everyone's opinion on things. But I've been single for a while, and I am just wondering why we're all struggling to meet someone, because there seems to be loads of people that want to meet someone. There's more ways now more than ever to meet someone.
True.
And even though, it's the standard of it's too easy now and there's too much choice and all that, I just find it really bizarre that we just, like, everyone seems to want to not be single. Like, you see all these like videos online, and yet everyone as well can't. Everyone's
Just because you want something doesn't mean you're working towards it and you're doing the proper or taking the proper steps to get what you want. Most people just want. They think they deserve whatever the fuck they want. And no, motherfuckers, you don't. You gotta earn everything. You deserve shit when you have earned it.
seems to be dating wrong or doing something. I don't know what it is. I know I must be doing something wrong. So I just kind of want to know what everyone's thoughts are as to why there are so many great people, especially like in the mid, like sort of 30s to like right up to like early 50s pool, that want to meet someone, but the dating game is just brutal. So yeah,
You're right. I can actually agree with this. 35-year-olds, men, women, 40-year-old men, women. Yeah, they all want partnership. They all want relationships. But the dating game is fucked.
yeah, please share any thoughts and get only kind ones, because this is my first video.
It's happening with everyone. The dating scene is getting challenging for most people, and that's why those who are in a relationship and can still work on the small issues they are facing, they should do that. Instead of leaving and jumping into the dating scene thinking they can easily replace their ex-partner. Finding someone isn't as easy as it used to be a few years ago, as there is a large number of people who are no longer serious about dating. Others are taking their time and enjoying their single life, and there is another group that's going after a different demographic, making things more challenging for those who are trying to navigate this field.
Devastation that man must have felt when he heard she had $47,000 this whole time, and he just struggled. I feel for the man. I'd be devastated too. Like, holy fuck, I thought I was building our family this whole time, and she's just been taking away from it. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. See you guys next time. Ciao.